You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And no, I don't.
This is CryptoTube. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are looking at the Reserve Protocol. This is a fintech app that has already been rolled out in Venezuela, and on the list next up is like Argentina and Lebanon, countries that have dealt with hyperinflation to the point where their currencies have become so devalued that the citizens have no means of relevant exchange. For example, in Venezuela, it costs roughly a month's wages to buy a hamburger out there. This has led to millions of people having to flee the country to go and earn US dollars to send them back to their families to actually survive and make ends meet. So the Reserve Protocol is trying to solve this issue with their app, and this will allow for a means of exchange in a digital US dollar. And this is made up of a 2-token model. We have RSV, which is the stablecoin. This is fully decentralized and asset-backed. Then we have RSR, which is the token used to stabilize the RSV price and keep it pegged to $1. Plus, it is also a governance token to vote on parameters in the network. And on top of that, holders of RSR are able to buy back excess assets from the tokenized pool. So there are many ways that you can actually earn an income or a revenue stream from RSR, which we'll look at today in this video. So it is solving a real world problem, and it already has an, working product out there in the world. And they started with some of the toughest market environments, as that is where it is needed most. So this is my most recent purchase. I bought this last week. I posted it on the Patreon account. Check that out in the description if you want to get involved. It was around 60 Satoshis at the time. It has had a hell of a run up over the weekend, but has now pulled back. So it is a good time to probably get in about right now before it goes on its next step up. And I believe this will happen quite quickly, as there is a lot of growing hype around RSR. People are starting to see the value of it. It's ranked 120 right now. It did creep into the top 100, I believe, yesterday. Market cap around $40 million only. And you'll see that this is quite undervalued for what it can achieve. It can really be pretty huge. The circulating supply around 7 billion, total supply around 100 billion. So this may be of concern to some, but still with a market cap of just 40 million, I do believe it's undervalued. One of the main reasons why this will shoot up the rankings is because it is only kind of on Huobi Global as like a tier 1 exchange right now. When it gets listed on Coinbase, which it will get listed in the future, and is taken on by the other big boys, your Binances, etc., there's going to be a lot of price discovery and a lot of attention on this going forward. You can also trade it on Gate.io, or you can swap it using Kyber Network. Those would be my preferred methodologies for getting involved with this one. The 2-token model, RSV, so it says the stable cryptocurrency that is economically and legally robust at any scale, decentralized, 100% asset-backed, and funded by top Silicon Valley investors. This is the product. The stablecoin is the product. This is what is going to solve the use case and get people out of trouble in hyperinflation regions. And then we have RSR, which is the fluctuation protocol token that plays a role in stabilizing RSV and confers the cryptographic right to purchase excess reserve tokens as the network grows. So many benefits for the RSR holders. As the pool of tokenized assets increases, they will have the chance to purchase these to retain that RSV $1 peg. So why will individuals want to use the stablecoin RSV? Well, to protect your money in areas of hyperinflation. Your money is diminishing in terms of its purchasing power every single year. People with savings for retirement and whatnot, they need to move their money out of, for example, the Venezuelan bolivar and into a US dollar pegged asset such as RSV. You can also then send money across borders. Remittance is a huge market, especially for South America, with individuals leaving their families and sending money back home. And then also for, the local economy there, acceptance of payments with an actual payment mean that is, usable. For example, you don't want to be going to buy a loaf of bread with a wad of cash 2 foot high, and that is kind of the reality that people are living with in these areas of hyperinflation, which is just crazy to think about. Not something, being from the UK, that we've really ever had to think about like this. But once you do the research and see what an issue this is for people in specific regions, it is a real genuine problem that cryptocurrency needs to solve. So you'll see that the reserve stablecoin uses a range of other stablecoins to decentralize itself and keep that USD peg. Some of these do see quite a bit of slippage from now and then, but by using a basket of these from, the Paxos to the USDC coin, you can actually ensure further decentralization. At the moment, this app is only live and kicking in Venezuela. More countries coming soon, such as Argentina. This is geo-locked for now, so if you try and find it on there, unless you're actually in Venezuela, you won't be able to get the app up. But it is coming for a global rollout by the end of this year / the start of 2021. So this is how the reserve protocol works. We have the stabilization of $1, and we also have a ratio that needs to be maintained, as this is an asset-backed currency. So if the price of RSV, the stablecoin, goes above $1 on exchanges, the protocol will sell newly minted or excess vault RSV for either tokenized assets or RSR, which will drive down the price of RSV on exchanges back to that $1 equilibrium level. If the price of RSV actually falls below $1 on exchanges, the protocol purchases RSV for tokenized assets, bringing the price of RSV on exchanges back up to $1. We have the vault in the middle, which is made up of the excess reserve RSV coins and also tokenized assets, so a basket of goods that will expand over time to include tokenized commodities and bonds. And the vault is actually managed by a vault manager who is keeping an eye on these things at all times to ensure the stability. They do use Chainlink price oracles to maintain all of this, and they have a working relationship with Chainlink, which is quite interesting, and have been with those guys for over a year right now. And then in terms of maintaining the ratio of a 1-to-1 of assets to RSV, so it says if the vault has accumulated excess RSV, the RSR holders can purchase this with their RSR as part of a stabilizing of the price of RSV. This maintains the vault's ratio of assets and reduces the supply of RSR. So you get rid of some RSR and take on the excess assets. So over time, the number of RSR in circulation will go down. So it is kind of deflationary in that sense. And then when the ratio of tokenized assets goes below the target range, so for example it's 0.8 to 1 for example, the protocol will sell the RSR for tokenized assets, thereby replenishing the backing for RSV. So back to that 1-to-1 ratio. So you can see that this is a system that is designed to ensure the peg and ensure the ratio. So a 1-to-1 ratio and a $1 peg. So it is very well thought through, and from looking into the team and stuff, they are very much methodical in their approach, thesis-driven individuals who have really thought about this and how to ensure that the peg is maintained and the ratio as well is maintained. So it's a very clever protocol, and one that really caught my attention, especially at that market cap of around $40 million. In a recent AMA, the community asked, can you explain RSR's utility and how it ties to RSV? And they put the most simple way to think about RSR is to see it as functionally similar to BNB. The reserve protocol will charge a small transaction fee on usage of RSV, and you will also generate yield on the RSV collateral tokens. For example, you may have loads of DAI stablecoins. You can lend those out at no risk and gain a yield off them. And then those funds are able to buy back and burn RSR through the arbitrage mechanism that's been discussed. In short, RSR will have value through a similar economic design to BNB. The mechanics are a little bit different, but in both cases, tokens are being bought and burned. So a strong token model for RSR to grow. This may take years. It may take a long time for this to really be realized, but there is serious price potential with the economics behind this. So one of the leading points that you'll hear about RSR, or Reserve Protocol in general, and why it could be super successful is due to the backers that they already have attracted. For example, we've got venture capital firms interested in solving fundamental human problems. We've got other hedge funds based out in Silicon Valley. Then we have the likes of Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal, with his fingers in the pie here. Coinbase Ventures are also an early backer of this, and this is where we get the notion that Coinbase will list, because why would you invest in something if you're not later going to be listing it onto your exchange? And that is a serious price discovery point for RSR currency. And then we have Sam Altman here, who is always interested in venture capitalism and has invested in Airbnb, Stripe, Reddit, and Pinterest, amongst others. We've then got Jack Selby, who is the managing director of Thiel Capital, and he is actually in one of the promo videos of Reserve. So the PayPal link is there as well here. Eric Jackson was a VP of marketing at PayPal. So the fact you've got 1, 2, 3 individuals who are heavily involved in PayPal already invested in this leads you to put 2 and 2 together when we see the news about PayPal looking to onboard cryptocurrencies, and you think, okay, RSV, RSR, maybe a combination, or maybe just a stablecoin RSV, they're going to be listed on PayPal as one of the cryptos to use down the line. It makes perfect sense for them to do this. If you are a major token holder or a stakeholder in this protocol, and you co-founded PayPal, and you're going to be integrating cryptocurrencies, put 2 and 2 together, and you're going to see what's going to happen down the line. But Coinbase, PayPal, big hitters in the remittance industry and cryptocurrency industry, respectively. And this is going to be a real bullish signal for Reserve Protocol down the line. And as RSV, the actual stablecoin, grows in usage and value, the amount of tokenized assets under management will increase as they produce yields. The buybacks of the RSR token are going to increase, and obviously the revenues from that, there's that arbitrage mechanism within there as well, so you can actually buy back the excess assets when you are over collateralized. So there's going to be major ways to earn through the Reserve Protocol, and it seems to be a really, well thought out protocol. So one of the best places to follow them along, Telegram would be one, Twitter would be another one. As we can see, the Reserve app now live in Argentina as of June 17th. So go and give these guys a follow. Loads of information coming out, and a growing community here over on Twitter, 38.4k followers. On top of that, huge community, as seen by this, top 7 of the most trending altcoins right now by mentions and engagements. RSR getting into that category with 3,241 mentions and over 4.5 million engagements on social media, which is pretty insane. And then Reserve Rights, RSR, is the 3rd most active market over on Kyber network. So if this is not bullish sentiment for the project, I don't know what is. So it's getting a lot of attention right now. A lot of individuals are starting to see it and get involved with it. And so we're going to see that price continue to go up, in my opinion. So for a crypto project that is trying to solve a genuine problem in the world that can be solved by cryptocurrency, with huge backers such as PayPal, such as Coinbase Ventures, and a market cap of $40 million, I did my research and I decided to take a leap of faith on this one and pull the trigger. So I've got involved with this. I've bought a decent amount of RSR tokens. Make sure you don't buy RSV by mistake, as that's going to be pegged and you're not going to make any gains. But if you want to buy RSR, go and check out Huobi Global. That is where it is right now. The mainnet for this one is going to be by the end of the year. There's 2 things to mention on that. The mainnet is where the early investors are allowed to actually start to sell their tokens. So we may get a sell-off, but when the mainnet is launched, that is often when you will see the price start to go up. As there'll be more integrations, you'll probably see more exchanges onboarding RSR, and you're likely to see a lot more development coming as well. So For me, I don't trade these coins. I'm looking for a longer term strategy to maybe sell in 2021 or later, take a portion of my cut of BTC and try and make that back. But this is more of a long-term play. The fact that I think this is going to have a lot of real world value. And if, for example, the Venezuelan public really get behind this and this becomes kind of the reserve currency for Venezuela, can you just imagine the billions and billions of dollars that would inflow into these protocols? So very exciting stuff. Really enjoyed looking into RSR, and we'll continue to update you with things as and when they happen. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.